If I told you that 1 year from now you could be $200,000 richer, would you believe me? I'm going to show you how this digital Etsy store did exactly that with only 27 listings. Hi, I'm Jess. I've built multiple 6- and 7-figure Etsy stores in various niches, getting sales like these, and learning the ins and outs of Etsy, Amazon, and more. A wild and crazy event led me to start a totally new life traveling abroad, giving me the unique opportunity to step back, work a lot less, and start sharing all of my Etsy insights with you. So hit that subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's jump in.
Hey, hello. Thanks for coming back to watch another fun video. If you guessed from my intro that this would be another spreadsheet store, then surprise, you are right. It seems like there is a ton of spreadsheet stores that are popping up with just a handful of listings and dominating six-figure sales, which is great news because that means there's plenty of demand for more. So this video is going to be a little bit of a 2-for-1. First, I'm going to wow you with this impressive store's sales stats. And then I'm going to dive into some seriously valuable tips on how to make spreadsheets with the features that are really selling so that you can jump into this Etsy niche and actually get ahead of competitors and set yourself apart. So, this store is called the Weekly Crew, and they are super impressive. They only have 27 listings, and I love their main images. You can see a very clear theme in their main images. I love it. Let's talk about their store stats because you guys are not going to believe what the store has accomplished so far. So, this store has almost 31,000 sales. And I want to point out that this store is getting sales hand over foot. Every time I have checked the store from the first time I set this on my list to take a peek at and to build an outline to when I actually outlined for this video, and now I'm filming this video, their sales just keep growing faster and faster and faster, like a snowball, which is hilarious because they sell a debt snowball spreadsheet and their store is literally snowballing with sales. So kudos to them. I gave them an average product price of about $8. Now, that is because their sales prices vary. And they do have some lower things like their debt tracker that I just mentioned is $4. They have a budget for $5, but some of their bigger sellers are in the 20 price range. This is hovering at 19. They have a biweekly paycheck budget that is also a bestseller. It's 20, almost $22. So I gave them an average price of $8 just to be conservative, just to be fair. And if we go down to their feedback and look at the very oldest feedback, the very first one here, their first feedback came on June 23rd of 2022. This store is 1 year old. This is a newbie, guys. This is so cool because keeping an account that they have almost 31,000 sales in 1 year's time span, that puts their approximate annual sales at $246,000. In 1 year, this store has made $246,000. And keep in mind, that is assuming they've only bought one product. Each of those 31,000 sales has only included one product at $8. So probably they're really raking in the dough here. And this is really impressive and inspiring. And I really wanted to point that out because even though spreadsheets can feel like a really saturated niche, it is a very high demand niche, which means that there is room here for more sellers to come in and create amazing spreadsheets and dominate and just really build up powerful levels of sales. Now, something that I wanted to point out about this store that is working for them really well in particular, aside from the fact that their images are on point and their features are on point, they have some pretty clever products. So this one in specific is a monthly 50/30/20 budget. And not only does it have a customized ratio here, but looking at their images, you can see that you can even create your own allocation. So it automatically allocates 50% to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt, which is great. That's what a lot of debt masters or financial gurus will tell us our budget is supposed to be at. But if you don't like it that way, you can customize it. You can create a ratio that fits your lifestyle and your particular needs. You can just suit this towards your lifestyle. I love that. All of these images are crisp, clear, the information is easy to read and understand. They have this smart calendar here. So they have really created a product that sees a need and sees what people struggle with budgeting their money and tries to solve that problem. So that is really, really cool. This 50/30/20 monthly budget is a unique product in the spreadsheet space. For example, if we go directly to Etsy, and I'm going to try and keep this super short here, but let's type in monthly budget. You're going to see that not a lot of them, of course, you're going to see this because I've already looked at this store, but you're going to see that not a lot of them really highlight a 50/30/20 or any type of ratio. You're not seeing that pop up on any of these other sellers. So that is a unique feature that is really paying off for this seller. Actually, here's another one. We went this far down before we found one more that's doing the 50/30/20. So obviously this is super cool. And this seller is actually 𝑬𝒕𝒔𝒆𝒄. 𝑬𝒕𝒔𝒆𝒄. They have another one here with a slightly different color scheme, 𝑬𝒕𝒔𝒆𝒄. So very, very cool. And that can be powerful when you find a feature like that and highlight that feature. That can really be powerful to set yourself apart. I want to talk about not just what sets this seller apart, but some of the big features that people look for when they're buying spreadsheets in general, and how you can implement those features to make sure that your spreadsheets are dominating this niche. But before I forget, I haven't talked a whole lot about my awesome new freebie in my videos so far, so I do want to take a quick second and tell you guys about it. I have built a 5-day email series. So each day you get an email with actionable tips to grow and improve your Etsy store. So there's a link down below for that. And I'm currently working on one that is geared specifically towards brand new sellers or sellers just looking to get into Etsy. This one is more for everybody. So it tries to cover a lot of the biggest, most important things that I see people struggle with their Etsy store and tackle some of those things to really get you ahead and get those sales in there. So definitely go sign up for that. It is down in the video description below. So now that we've kind of looked at this specific store and what's working so well, we're going to jump into some of those tips that I keep mentioning before. And as we go through those tips, we're going to see some other sellers that pop up. So I want you guys to really pay attention to the features that you see over and over and the elements in their images that pop out to you that look good. Take some notes, grab your pen and paper, grab some coffee. This is action packed with information, and you want to definitely save this video to come back to it later, but make notes of everything that you see that's important. So, the first tip that I want to talk about with selling spreadsheets is if I search literally just search for spreadsheet, what pops up and what really is getting the sales, the clicks, the what's actually doing really well. You want to look at similar products to yours, right? So if you're doing a bookkeeping or a paycheck by budget, a budget of some sort, or whatever it is that you're thinking of doing, there's meal planning, there's inventory tracking, debt spreadsheets, rental property habit tracking is popular, wedding planner, literally everything can be a spreadsheet. You want to find spreadsheets that are similar to yours, and you want to see what those sellers are doing. What are they offering? What does their stuff look like? What features does their spreadsheet have that seem to be really popular? And you always want your spreadsheet to be different and to offer different things. But if you're looking at 5 competitors and 4 out of the 5 have one specific feature, you probably want to include that specific feature somehow as well. So this seller actually only has 12 listings, and I'm not going to go on and on about this because they do have their own video, which is super helpful. But I'm going to open up one of their listings and I'm going to show you some really powerful features that this seller offers that can do a really strong job of leveling up your own spreadsheet. So we're going to see what this particular seller is doing because we know this seller is just killing it on sales. And there's a strong reason why that is. One of the great things that this seller offers, and they have updated their images, and honestly, I think I liked their original images better. I'm not sure. I'm fairly confident that they took out some images that they probably should have left in because they did have an image that was specifically about changing the currency to include dollar, euro, yen, and pound templates. And then they had an image to talk about how they customize colors. So this template can just be changed in the colors. And I wanted to show you guys how those features work. So to do that, I'm going to go to my Ultimate Success workbook and just use this as an example because I do have charts and things already in here. And this is my copy, so it's not going to mess anything up if I change colors. Nobody's going to be like, hey, what's going on? So I wanted to show you guys how to set this up so that you can start your spreadsheet with whatever colors you want, and a customer, a buyer, can just change the colors very, very quickly. So what we will do when we're making a spreadsheet is we will often just pick a color here, or we will even go into the custom colors and just pick a color, right? We'll just find our own color or type in the HTML code and change things how we want. What you're actually going to want to do instead of doing all of that, you're going to want to go here to format and you're going to want to do theme. And I'm doing everything in Google Sheets. I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm going to show you everything in Google Sheets because it's free and accessible and you don't have to buy any sort of Microsoft products to make this work. But you can do most of these features also in Excel, and there are great tutorials on YouTube if you can't figure out how to do anything. Anything you might want to learn that you don't know how to do, you just go straight to YouTube and you look it up, and it'll probably have a handful of tutorials to choose from. So go to themes and then click customize. Now here you can customize everything you want. So you can choose your font that you want to match your theme, and then you can choose your colors. So you can add custom colors down here, and they can be any colors you want. So you can see I've got all of my Insights by Jess colors in here. I've got some purple because I love purple, but all of your main colors can be added down here to custom, and you can set the colors for everything you want. So if you want your standard font color to be a dark gray, if you want your chart background, you're probably going to want that to be white because you don't want it to look like this. But then you can choose the color of your slices. So I'm going to choose all my favorite colors, all my Insights by Jess colors here. And what we do is when we're done, we click done, and that becomes our custom theme. So when you're making charts, you go to customize here, and you can actually change the pie slices. You'll see your theme pop up here. You can see all the colors that I've chosen. So I'm just going to choose this one for that. I'm just choosing similar colors because I want these colors here to be attached to a theme. You want everything that you do to be in your specific theme. So for example, in your fonts, you're going to choose from your theme. For your highlighting, you're going to choose from your theme. And I didn't add a whole bunch of colors because I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible here, but I just want to show you guys how this works and what happens so that when they click all of these colors will change to match the theme that they choose. So it takes about 5 extra minutes for you to set this up at the beginning, because you do have to go in here and you have to customize all of these things. But you can choose whatever colors you want here and make it match your theme without it really affecting anybody else. And then you have that extra feature here that they say you can customize the colors. That is a great feature. And if I was selling spreadsheets, I would have an image that shows that these colors change. Now, here's the other feature that this particular seller has. They let you change the currency. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do that. This particular spreadsheet that I made for you guys for our Etsy Seller Success Workbook, as you can see, there is no currency on here, and I did that because I wanted it to be universal. That's one way to handle that. But if I was selling this in an Etsy store, probably people would want to see a currency. So you can just assign it a currency like this. Now, there's 2 ways you can handle being able to change the currency. You could make an easy how-to image that shows your buyers that to change the currency, all they have to do is go to Format, Number, and then they can choose. Do they want euro? Do they want the yen? Do they want the pound? Etc. Or you can simply go in here and make a copy of your spreadsheet and change it yourself, and then just put the files to the different spreadsheets in your downloadable file. And we're going to actually talk about that in a minute. So we know how to change the spreadsheet colors. We know how to do the spreadsheet currencies. Let me go ahead and give you guys my biggest, most important tip for spreadsheets. And this is so simple. The number one question I get asked when people go and buy this from Buy Me a Coffee is they will request to edit this. So for example, let me see if I can open this in a new window here. Okay. So if I was to open this in a new tab where I'm not signed in as myself, it's going to say you need access, and it's going to let me type a message to the seller and request access. It is super, super, super frustrating when this happens, because if I give them access, they can edit everything, and they're editing the original template, which affects everyone else who purchases this file. That's a bad thing. So never, ever, ever grant somebody access to the template. What you do instead is you make an image and you put it in the PDF that you're going to give them when they buy this, and you put it in your FAQ, and you're going to need to have it in multiple places. You put an image that tells them that if they want to edit the workbook or edit the spreadsheet, they have to go to File, Make a Copy. Take a little clip of this particular screen that says File, Make a Copy here, and put it in an image so that they know exactly how to access that template. And then if they request to edit the main template, you just ignore the request. They will go back to their how-to, they will go back to the PDF that they got when they bought the product, and they will see where you tell them 4 times to make a copy, and they will figure it out. So never, ever, 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 ever grant anybody access to the template. That is going to let them change the master copy. Let's take that back one quick step here. In order to allow someone to buy this and to even access the master template, first you have to share it. So you're going to go to Share, and you're going to see all the people that are allowed to access this already, which I have blanked out because my kids are in here and I don't want you to see their personal emails. But here where it says general access, you can have it restricted, which means only people with the link can open this, or you can have it say anyone with the link. So this is how you want to set your Google Sheets up. You want it to say anyone with the link can view, just like this. Do not say comment or edit, only give them the role of viewer. And then you can copy that link. What you're going to do next is you're going to take this link and you're going to actually make a PDF file. So just for time's sake, I'm going to show you guys the PDF that I made for whenever someone buys my Seller Success Workbook. So what I did is I just added my logo as an image header here, and I typed directly over it how to use and you would put your product name here. The first thing I do is say, thank you so much for purchasing. Here's all of the information you need. And then I say to access the template, click here, and I add the link here. And you can type in the link, it will update it for you into this pretty little wording. If you do this, if you create this PDF in Google Docs, and I love Google Docs because it's simple and all my stuff is just right in Google, so I use it to store my files and all that good stuff. You can use Canva to make a PDF, you can use Microsoft Word, whatever you want to make the PDF, you can use your own preferred platform. And then you'll see, but wait, do this before you do anything. And then I talk about how they have to do the whole file, make a copy process. So very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Once you create this, you just go to File, Download as PDF. It's going to download it. And when your customer opens the PDF, this is what they see. And they can just click this and access their own copy of the workbook. Super, super simple. Now, when you create your Etsy listing in your Etsy store for your spreadsheet that you're selling, you're going to actually upload this PDF as the digital download product in your Etsy listing. You don't need to actually figure out how to attach the spreadsheet to the listing. You just make one of these PDFs and you attach the PDF to the listing instead. It's easy, it's simple, it gives them all the information that they're going to need, and it's just one file. And you can do that with any digital download. If you guys have downloaded any of my freebies, and I'm sure you have, you've seen that I do the same thing with a lot of my freebies that are like I have a download all your freebies in one click thing. It's literally a PDF that has links to all my other freebies so that you don't have to go through the process of signing up for every single freebie individually. So this can be used for almost any kind of digital download. You just put the links in here. And that actually saves you the trouble of dealing with file size limitations and things like that because you're just dealing with links inside of a simple PDF. So I'm going to actually pick a specific type of product here, and I'm going to type in meal plan spreadsheet. And we're going to scroll right past these ads here. And we're going to see some that are selling better than others. I actually did a video on Creative Jam. And then this one here, Tulip Road Studio, this might be a good choice. This might be a good choice. And as you can see by the numbers here, there are a lot of very, very new spreadsheet sellers. Okay, because spreadsheets are becoming super, super, super popular. So you really do need to do some due diligence on researching and making your spreadsheet stand out. We're going to get a little bit more into that in just a second. So if I'm going to make a meal planner, I would be checking these different sellers and I would be seeing if these are popular products. Is it worth my time and energy to sell a meal planner? I would be going through that whole process that I show you guys how to go through in my How to Find Bestsellers video and all of that. If we go to this one's a little bit more colorful. This one's able to be used in both Excel and Google Sheets. So they've actually created this twice, once in each platform, and it's selling for $11 and it's a bestseller. So this is actually really popular. So I'm going to be looking at this one a lot more closely than any of the other ones I've seen so far because I know this one is selling really well. They let you select Monday or Sunday for the week start. You can choose recipes or single ingredients, log your foods, and the ingredient and grocery lists update automatically. So they also have a wonderful image that tells you what all the different tabs are. So I would probably want to look at what all of these people are doing before I set up my own spreadsheet meal planner because I don't want to miss any cool features. Okay, so let's look at a couple of monthly budget spreadsheets. I feel like that's pretty specific. And let's look at this one. This one looks like a new one. And this is a bestseller. Let's open that one up. So you're just going to basically look at all of these different things and you're going to see what do they have in common. This one tells you that you can customize the colors. So that's great. They have chosen all very, very girly colors here. So that's kind of funny. And then here it says all currencies are supported. So great job. So very much like the other example with the color and the currencies. And you can see they have a similar image like this. Co-Products also has that almost exactly the same image here. So you can see that they really, where did it go? They really used Co-Products as an example. So very well done. They've already got bestseller on this fantastic product. You're going to just keep doing that. And I'm not going to go through all of these because this is already getting long and it is getting pretty intensive. But let's go back to the search page because the next thing that I really wanted to talk about with selling spreadsheets is the main images. Okay, these main images will make or break your sales because you are going to have people searching, just like I did, monthly budget spreadsheet or whatever type of spreadsheet it is that you're selling. When they search that, they're going to land on a search page like this, and it might actually even be on their phone because a lot of Etsy searches are done on mobile. A lot of Etsy's purchases are made on mobile devices. So what you want to do is pay attention to what all of these images look like. Which ones look the best? Which ones look the cleanest? Which ones focus on the product the best and gives you information the best? And you're going to give more weight to the ones that are bestsellers and what their main images look like versus the non-bestsellers, because if they're not a bestseller, it's not selling as well as all of these other listings and what their monthly budgets or what their specific spreadsheets actually look like. So these are the best main images to look at. What I always try to do anytime I make a main image or an image in general for any type of Etsy listing is I will make my screen small and I will look at it, not that small, too much, and I will look at it in a small format, the way I would be seeing it if I was on a small device like a phone. And when you make it small like this, you can see that some of these texts are still really easy to read. And some of them, like this one here, the text gets a little blurry. So you might want to choose a thicker font and a simpler presentation. So this is going to really help you gauge what you want your image to look like and if it looks good on those smaller devices. For example, you can't even read what this one says here because it's so small that all these words just blur together. And if I make it bigger, even when I make it bigger, it is still hard to read. So I think they could probably improve this image, and you can tell it's a brand new seller. They could improve this image to make the monthly budget spreadsheet part easier to read, even if they've just put a white box on the top or whatever, a green box on the top with white wording, something that makes it stand out and is clear and easy to read. Because what we see on our Etsy screens when we're making the image, we see the images bigger than they tend to be on the search results page. So I really wanted to point that out as well because your main images are going to be what attract buyers and what gets them to click on your product. And your other images do matter as well, of course, but the main image is the very most important. And to really crush your competitors in any Etsy niche, make sure you check out my latest tips video. It is jam-packed with strategies specifically geared to get your first few sales, get your items seen in the search rankings, and really get ahead of your competitors. So you can watch that video here.